to our earlier story about the recent happenings during the Talenti by-elections, about the formation of vigilante groups. Let's speak to Dr. Saidu Alidu, who is with the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana. Thank you very much, sir. The phenomenon of vigilante groups springing up in our political activities, is it a source of worry?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a huge source of worry, because if you look at democracy as a form of government, a lot of people believe that democracy in itself is a conflict resolution mechanism. So if you look at the democratic theory of conflict resolution or peace building, people equate democracy to conflict resolution because it provides the mechanism, the peaceful way of resolving conflicts when it erupts. But if you look at what is happening now in this country, you have seen that democracy, or electoral democracy specifically, has now become a source of conflict rather than a conflict resolution mechanism. And largely these vigilante groups are recruited, supported, and one way or the other inspired by political parties that want to win power, because they think that getting power is a do or die affair. And to be able to get power, you need that element of muscle to protect you in areas that you can't go alone. And this is also affiliated or linked to the fact that political parties, one way or the other, don't have confidence in largely most of our security institutions. So they believe that, for example, if I'm in opposition, the political command structure controls the security system. So if they also have interest, those who command the security system have interest in winning elections, then it's supposed to reason that they will not support your interest when you are opposition, but you support the interests of parties that are in government. So political parties like the which are in opposition will want to have a powerful security institution that can help them in situations that they need help. But it is also very difficult for parties in power to always use state security apparatus against parties in opposition. So they are also equipped to form a powerful institution so that when the opposition deploys theirs, they can also deploy that informal security institutions to attack or to defend the pressure that is coming from the opposition. So by and large, it's not a very healthy development in our politics, given the fact that they can become a source of tension that will undermine the relative peace that we enjoy. But the people who are supposed to enforce and make sure that these particular institutions are not given the chance to operate are likely those who benefit from them. So
right, Dr. Saidu, let me just butt in here. For as long as these groupings do not affect our political process, maybe it could be excused. But to the extent that these vigilante groups actually interfere in our political process, for instance, when you look at what happened in Talenti on Tuesday, where there was violence between so-called Bulgar Bulldogs and the Bulgar Bulldogs and the Bamba Boys and what have you, what are security agencies supposed to do then?
Yeah, I think the security agencies face a huge dilemma because their prime responsibility is to maintain law and order. But these security agencies are also answered to political appointees. For example, whether it is DISEC or RECSEC or Ministry of Defense or whatever, there are political heads of command throughout. So in circumstances like that, the immediate report that they're going to do, or the immediate decision-making body that would give the way forward, it's usually political decision-making body. So it makes them very difficult. They are in a very tight corner. So what happens is that sometimes when you take the appropriate decision, you can face sanctions from the political establishment. They may either not promote you when your promotion is due, or they may either transfer you to a place that you wouldn't want to live, or your family can be threatened. So in this circumstance, they face a huge challenge. So what we should do is that, because political parties benefit from these organizations, and they are largely at the apex of decision-making processes, it will be very difficult for people, especially the security agencies, to do justice using their free will. So what we can do is that, in a situations like this moving forward as a country, we'll have to defend the chain of command to only professionals. We allow the security agencies to use their chain of command and deal with those issues in a professional manner, rather than resorting to the political command.
Right, Dr. Saidu, I don't know if you find this satisfying enough. We've just received a statement from the police service taking very serious exceptions to the activities of these political vigilante groups like the Bamba Boys, Invincible Forces, the Boga Bulldogs, and the Azoka Boys. They have assured that investigations have been instituted into the conduct of these groups, and they're likely to come up with a docket when investigations are concluded. Is this satisfying enough for you?
Yeah, so this is not the first time we've had this. And this is not the first time we've had this caliber of groups operating in this country. They have been operating since time immemorial. And in every instances that they have committed those crimes, this is the same response we get from the police. They will conduct their investigation, they will come out with a docket or a report, and what happens? Because these people are not punished, then their activities are allowed to fester. And they are not punished because the people who are supposed to punish them, their hands are also tied by the political establishment that they report to. So that chain of command is a very serious
should the interior minister be seen to be going above politics, especially in matters like this? He's reported to have said that violence begets violence, and that whatever happened in Talensi was as a result of a reaction or an action from the other opposing side. Should he be seen to be handling matters like this in a more professional way?
Yeah, I think it should rather be done in a professional way. Even though the background speaks clearly to the fact, because he's an interior minister because his party is in power. He has been appointed by his president who won an election. So definitely, even though he is supposed to protect the collective interests of Ghanaians at large, but he's also looking at the source of his authority, which is an appointment from the president who has won an election. So if the president loses the election, he will see this to be what? An interior minister there and then. So even though most of them know the right thing that should be done, they're also looking at the source of authority and the power that they are answerable to. But I believe that moving forward as a country, as a democratic country, politicians should be able to deal with their biases as political leaders and allow the security services to do their work. Even if you know that you have an interest in that particular case, you should be able to keep quiet and allow the police to do their professional job. But once you say something like this, then you prejudice the investigation, and then you even make people who want to fight that particular crime relax, because they think that, if you have said this, then it suggests that if they do anything, nothing will happen.
It must be a pretty difficult time being a police officer in these times, really, don't you think so?
Yeah, definitely. I think our security, if you speak to them personally, they will tell you that political interference has been one of the serious obstacles that undermines their ability to deliver. It's not that they don't know what to do. They know what to do. But the problem too is that sometimes if you do the right thing and it doesn't favor the powers that be, you won't be free.
Right. Dr. Saidu, I'm going to ask you to hold on to the line. We've been joined by the Interior Minister, Mark Wayongo. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.